The Broncos just got some great news on top of Bo Nix's preseason excellence. But I first want to show some love to all of our new subscribers here at the Broncos Breakdown. Shout out to those of you that helped us reach 24,000 subscribers. We're not slowing down. Next milestone, 25K. Let's get there before NFL Week 1. A dominant preseason win for the Broncos following a dominant set of joint practices against the Packers, a team that not only made the playoffs last year, but won a playoff game on the road. So really encouraging stuff for the Broncos going into the regular season. But of course, the only thing people could talk about, and rightfully so in Denver, has been the performance of rookie quarterback Bo Nix. Through 2 preseason games, he is 23 for 30, 205 passing yards, 29 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. There is a lot to like about what we have seen so far from Bo Nix, but if I could narrow it down for you guys, this is what I would highlight in particular. 1, he stays on schedule, right? There's not a whole lot of improv going on. He's not trying to add on to plays that don't exist. He takes what the defense gives him. He avoids sacks, which we're going to talk about more in a moment. He is accurate with the football. He was 8 for 9 in week 2. By the way, I'll add death by 1,000 cuts. Now, there's a little bit of an asterisk to this because he's not just purely dinking and dunking it. Predominantly, he has been keeping the ball close to the line of scrimmage. He hasn't been necessarily like airing it out, going for a huge bomb on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. But he has shown that he is willing and able to throw the deep ball as well. But we are seeing a much more Oregon version of Bo Nix, and that's to be expected. That was his skill set in college. But he's also showing the mobility. That was something that I think went undetected at Oregon, and the NFL is starting to learn. Bo Nix has some wheels, and he can scramble and then really do some damage when he gets loose in open space. But one thing that's really jumped out to me from that list is the lack of sacks. He has played 59 snaps so far in the preseason, 0 sacks. Meanwhile, our old friend Russell Wilson, who has only played 21 snaps in the preseason, already has 3 sacks. Now, offensive lines are different and whatnot, but I feel like 3 sacks in a much smaller sample size is maybe the most telltale stat as to why Sean Payton wanted to move on from Russell Wilson and go to Bo Nix, a quarterback who never fumbled at Oregon, was hardly sacked because the ball comes out of his hand quick. He stays on schedule. He takes what the defense gives him. He doesn't try to be a hero. He doesn't try and hold on to the ball and run all over the backfield. No, if it's not there, he moves on to the next read. He'll go with the guy underneath, but the ball comes out, and there are no negative plays with Bo Nix so far. Now, I saw someone in the comment section point this out in yesterday's video, so I think it's time just to air out my dirty laundry. Was I the biggest fan of the Bo Nix draft pick? No. I actually went back and rewatched my own video when the Broncos selected him 12th overall. But I will say this. Don't dunk on me in the preseason. By all means, dunk on me in the regular season. But I want you guys to save your receipts for a much more joyous occasion than preseason stats. Like, wait for the regular season, then come back and clown on me. But don't burn that card in the preseason. That's not the time to waste that bullet. Wait for a big primetime win in the regular season. That's the good time to throw your tomatoes at me, not in the preseason. But let me know, are you a Bo-liever? If you are, type me in the comment section. I'm still toying around. There's a whole bunch of fun little puns people have come up with when it comes to Bo Nix. Bo my God, is that what you just came up with, Reed? That's a pretty good one as well. So, are you a Bo-liever? Let me know in the comment section below whether or not you are. How can you not be? What we've seen so far has probably brought the most amount of optimism to this fan base since Peyton Manning a decade ago. Now, next up on the show, we're going to go with the cherry on top of the preseason because Bo Nix delivering the goods is good news. But what we didn't account for is someone else really bringing the goods, and we're going to look at that certain someone in just a moment. But first, I want to give some love to our friends over at Game Time for supporting us here at Chat Sports. See, Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Now, one thing I really like about Game Time is they offer the Game Time guarantee. If you're looking for tickets and you find tickets somewhere else for more than what Game Time has, well, they're going to credit you 110% of the difference as long as it is in the same section and row as Game Time. So download the Game Time app today and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. The mystery man that we need to talk about, Tim Patrick. And this is a part of the video I'm super excited to talk about. So far through 2 preseason games, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 44 yards, and 1 really emotional touchdown at home for the first time since December of 2021. Tim Patrick's resurgence is incredible. I didn't know what to expect out of him this year, but I was just happy to see him once again conquer rehab and make his way back on the field. He reworked his contract with the Broncos to stay on the team, 1 final year remaining, but Tim Patrick kind of came into the season as a little bit of like a house money, right? If he can get back to his 2021 version, awesome. If not, okay, you probably shouldn't put all your eggs in that basket anyway. But now look at the Broncos wide receiver room. I think Sutton still is your number 1, but I think Tim Patrick has climbed all the way up to wide receiver 2. I've got Josh Reynolds at wide receiver 3, and then Marvin Mims as wide receiver 4. And I believe the snap count from last night with the first team offense reflects that. But if you look at Tim Patrick's first 4 seasons, 734 yards in 2021, 5 touchdowns. 742 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2020. We're looking at a guy with 11 combined touchdowns in the last 2 years that he has been healthy for after missing 2022 due to an Achilles injury and 2023 due to an ACL injury. Tim Patrick, I think, will become Bo Nix's security blanket. I think there's a couple of contributing factors to it. One, the style in which Tim Patrick plays, I think is going to benefit what Bo Nix is looking for in a receiver in a ton of ways. Look at the 2023 receiving targets for Josh Reynolds and Courtland Sutton. Tim Patrick is 2021. But what I have here is their percentage of targets based on the range that the ball was thrown to them at. So let's start with Josh Reynolds. 11% of his targets came 20-plus yards down the field. 52% came 10 to 19 yards, and 28% came 0 to 9. Now compare Sutton and Josh Reynolds to Tim Patrick. Patrick, 48% coming between 0 and 9 yards, more than Reynolds and Sutton. 31% coming 10 to 19 yards, more than Sutton, but Josh Reynolds just has very bizarre, uneven stats. But the point being here is Tim Patrick clearly is a receiver that hangs around closer to the line of scrimmage than most receivers do. And so if you've got a receiver like that with a rookie quarterback that in college was not an air raid type quarterback, but liked to keep the ball near the line of scrimmage and take the complete passes and keep the offense moving, you're going to want a receiver that's not just a vertical threat that only knows a go route, but a guy who can work in tight quarters near the line of scrimmage and can win those more physical and difficult passes with corners and DBs and linebackers breathing down their necks. So you add in a bounce-back season from Greg Dulcich along with what we've already seen from Tim Patrick, and that to me screams Bo Nix security blankets. The tight end position was a little bit of a disaster last year for Denver, but I thought that highlight play from Dulcich last night where he just truck sticked a defender and got the first down on a 3rd and long, and now Tim Patrick picking up where he left off in 2021. I mean, those are going to be 2 friendly and frequent targets for Bo Nix because I don't expect him all of a sudden in the regular season to start going deep on first, second, and third down, right? I think he's going to play a little bit more on the conservative side. It's what he did in college. It's what we've seen so far in a small-ish but small sample size in the preseason. And I expect that trend to continue into the regular season. So you want to have receivers who complement Bo Nix's quarterback play. And what complements Bo Nix's quarterback play? Receivers that hang out 0 to 9 yards, like Tim Patrick did more than any other receiver on this team the last time on the field. So if you are pumped up for Tim Patrick getting back on the field and putting together touchdowns, type 12 in the comment section below. Let him know that Broncos Country is stoked for his return, hopefully back to the mountaintop of the Mile High Club. All right, Blue and Orange Club, though. I want to show some love to a couple of people that in our watch party on Sunday truly went above and beyond to support the channel with $100 super chats. And if you want to land on this list to get shout outs for the entire 2024 season, come hang out with us during one of our watch parties. $100 super chat to join Slap Yourself, I Don't Give a Buck, and then his wife, I Don't Give a Duck, and John E. as well. Appreciate you guys more than you could ever understand for all the support you have given us here. Really, really, really do. And I can't wait to hang out with you guys for more watch parties all season long. So shout out to Slap Yourself, I Don't Give a Buck, I Don't Give a Duck, and John E. That's going to do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you all later.